Hi everyone, Aidan here at the etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts AfterParty SwingAway bike rack and seeing how it fits on the back of our 2020 Ford F-150. Now this is going to be a platform style bike rack capable of carrying up to 2 bikes. We've got this set up with 1 bike right now, and the nice thing about the AfterParty is that it makes no frame contact. This makes it a good option for carbon frame bikes, alternative frame bikes, and with a 60-pound weight capacity per bike, it can carry some e-bikes too. We've got our mountain bike up there right now, and it is holding it very well. Not a whole lot of movement in here in the rack, and overall everything is very solid. The AfterParty has a lot of metal construction on here, and all the moving parts are held in very tight. With this, you do have the ability to tilt it away with the bikes loaded, like you would with many other platform racks out there, which for your F-150 doesn't do a whole lot. You do have to watch your head with the handlebars. But with the F-150 here, it doesn't give us enough room to fully lower down the tailgate, but it does give us a lot more room to walk between the tailgate and the bike rack, reach into the back, and grab something quickly if need be. But, like I mentioned before, this is a SwingAway bike rack. That's really where this excels. So lift it back up, it'll click into place, and we just tilted it using that blue handle at the very end. Then going underneath the rack, there's going to be another blue handle that we can loosen counterclockwise. That's going to release the SwingAway arm and loosen it up. Make sure you fully unthread it, because it does have quite a bit to go. But once it's fully released, you should be able to pull the handle back and forth and feel it freely moving. So almost there now. That's good. And then going a little bit further in, there'll be a pin that you can pull up and pull out on the arm. That can bring this into the SwingAway state where we can fold it, relock that pin by the bike rack, push it all the way out, and let another pin lock in the middle point of the arm right here to lock it at this 180-degree swing out state. From there, we've got full room to lower down our tailgate, get full access to the back of our truck, maybe sit down and change our shoes before or after our ride, and just have a place to sit and hang out. That's a really big advantage for a SwingAway bike rack, and trucks especially, because not a lot of bike racks give you clearance at the tailgate, and to get this full access like we have here, you have to use a SwingAway rack, and there's just not many of them out there. So this one works exceptionally well, gives us plenty of room with our F-150, and then we can get it brought back in. Coming to that first pin in the middle to release the arm back towards the middle, and then the pin right here to release the bike rack portion itself. At this point, I like to step around and push it the rest of the way, letting that first pin snap back in to hold it in place, and re-threading the hand knob underneath to tighten everything down. This is the thing that really takes out the slack from the bike rack and makes it so everything is rock solid. Now at the top of the rack here, we do have a locking point. The bike rack does come included with a chain lock that you can run through your bikes to this locking point right here and lock it up using the provided key at the end. It's not recommended that you drive with the chain lock on because it is a pretty large chain, and although it is padded, it could damage your bikes, but it's really good for leaving them when you're not around. Getting the bike unloaded is really straightforward. Coming into the trays, we're going to have these blue levers. You can see them pretty well on the outer tray here. Just push the lever to release the tension, and then flip it up to fully disengage the ratcheting mechanism, and push the arm out as far as you want, really. Do the same thing on the other side. Very seamless process, and it's nice that you can push those arms out as much as you want or as little as you want. Then you can just lift the bike up and away, and I will set it to the side so we can take a closer look at the rack. We can fold the arms back in at this point, and be sure to flip the lever back down, re-engage the ratcheting mechanism, and ensure that the arms don't come back up. Do that on both sides, and then we can get some measurements. We'll start off with our ground clearance. This does have a pretty aggressive rise in the shank, and it does feature a stadium style design where the back tray sits higher than the front. And on an already tall vehicle, we're going to be getting 31 inches of ground clearance at the back end here. That's from the bottom to the ground. So very impressive, and I don't think you'll have to worry about it, even if you're going off-road. The distance we're adding to the back of our F-150, we're going from the bumper to the furthest out point. That's going to be 30 inches. So it does add a little bit of length to the F-150, something to keep in mind if we're driving around with this, that it adds length for things like parking spots or just driving around. If you want to leave it in the hitch between rides, you can use that same handle we used before to fold it or tilt it down to fold it up. That will bring it up into the folded state here and cut down on our distance added to the back. Now only sticking out 15.5 inches from the bumper makes it way more manageable for parking spots and driving around. Then it's ready to go for whenever we want to hit the trails and load up our bikes. I will say in this state, it does block your license plate quite a bit, just because this bottom tray and this main center section is quite large, and your license plate is tucked away down low. And then your backup camera here does retain good visibility above the bike rack, and we're not blocking things like our tail lights on the side. So I'm not too worried about any of those clearance issues. Really just watch out for the license plate. Depending on where you live, that might be something that you need to have visible by law. But as always, just check your local regulations for that. Down at the hitch, it's working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube and uses a locking anti-rattle bolt to keep things nice and solid in the hitch. You can see there's no shake or play at all in there. And that lock is using the same key that the locking point up top on the rack uses. So it's the same key system. You only have to keep one on you, and that can lock up or unlock both points. So our bikes are locked to the rack, and the rack is locked to the vehicle. Overall, I really like the AfterParty. I like it as a bike rack in general. I think it works very well for a wide range of bikes, and it's very easy to use. But for trucks specifically, it's very nice because it works so well with the tailgate. But that'll do it for our look at the RockyMounts AfterParty and our 2020 Ford F-150. Thanks for watching.